The arranged engagement banquet between two powerful families, yet the elite Omega younger brother ran away. So the family sent me, the defective Omega, in his place. I didn't expect the groom to be my beta roommate, the same one who had begged to bite me just days ago. When he saw me, he smirked and said, "What? Your brother bailed, so now they're throwing this defective Omega at me instead?" I sneered, "Didn't your older brother bail too? Now they're sending a beta for the engagement." His smile deepened. "I think you've misunderstood. I'm actually a top-tier alpha. Tonight, I'm afraid it's going to be a long night for you. 1. My name is Baylor. I have good grades. I'm good-looking, well-behaved, and I'm pretty easygoing. But because I'm a defective Omega, my family basically left me to fend for myself. Maybe that's why I gradually became rebellious. After getting into a top university, I played the perfect student by day, model of the academy. But at night, back in the dorm, I went wild." "Baylor, do you think your little brother knows how wild you are?" Declan would wrap his arms around me from behind, kissing along my scent gland, leaving marks all over me. "Look at you, playing the role of the perfect student, but deep down, you're filthy." I knew he was mocking me. I turned and bit his lip, pulling open his shirt. "You're no better. If we're talking about dirty, Declan is the master of disguise. On the surface, he's a gentle gentleman, but in bed, he's more ruthless than anyone." Sometimes his moods were dark and unpredictable, and he was into things like chains and black silk. The first time he blindfolded me with black satin, I was a little shocked. He looked like the picture of class, but the things he did were anything but. I once asked, "Where'd you learn to be so shameless?" He didn't answer. I gave his cheek a light pat. "You must watch a lot of videos. All that studying, what exactly have you been learning?" He stared at me and kissed my neck. "Didn't you learn plenty of tricks when you were chasing me? Why did you chase me in the first place?" he asked. I replied, "Because you were a beta, low maintenance and interesting." Declan was unique, cold and elegant like a flower on a high cliff. A beta, but far more capable than most alphas. It took me a whole year of chasing before I finally got him. When it came time to assign roommates, I pulled some strings to make sure we got placed together. He agreed, but every month, for a few days, he'd disappear. Whenever he returned, he had new injuries. That air of mystery only made me more intrigued. 2. Just days before graduation, he vanished again. When he came back, I saw rope marks on his wrists. I asked on purpose, "What? Sneaking off for a little fun on the side?" "No," he said, wrapping an arm lazily around my waist and pinning me to the dorm bed. "I only want you. I'd never look elsewhere." He bit lightly at my scent gland. "I missed you. I've been dying to mark you." The moment I heard the word mark, I pushed him off and tried to get up. "Enough with the biting. You can't mark me anyway. Never mind the fact that he's a beta. I'm a defective Omega. My body can't handle being marked by pheromones." But he pushed me back down and ripped my clothes open. He was clearly unleashing all the frustration built up from the past few days. Afterward, I grabbed some clothes and headed to the shower. 2 more weeks till graduation. After that, let's cut contact. He froze. "What? Planning to go back to being the good little heir?" I didn't deny it. Leaning down, I tapped his cheek. "Yeah, otherwise, if I get kicked out of my family, are you gonna take care of me?" Truthfully, I was hoping for a promise from him, but he said nothing, as if thinking hard about something. "If you can't make a commitment, then don't expect to keep getting me for free." I was disappointed, but not heartbroken. Marrying an alpha would be more promising than staying with him. At least, that's what I told myself. But I still sent a message to my top-tier Omega younger brother. "Little brother, can you do me a favor?" He replied almost immediately, "Of course. What do you need?" "Big brother, my brother and I were very close. He always listened to me. He was my reason for staying strong and not turning my back on the family. This wasn't about me and Declan. It was about my top-tier Omega brother and his top-tier alpha fiancé." 3. The night before graduation, I planned to sleep with Declan one last time. A proper goodbye. But it just so happened to be my heat. My heats are short, just 1 day, but I'm still an Omega. My pheromones would affect any alpha. "When are you coming back? Something's wrong with me." I texted Declan while searching for suppressants, but I couldn't find any. Thump, thump. Someone was pushing at the door from outside. I froze in fear. "There's an Omega in there. Even if it's a defective one, it smells pretty good." "Yeah, I've never tasted an Omega before. I heard when an Omega's in heat, they'll obey any alpha who claims them." The voices outside were loud, but they were fully conscious. My pheromones weren't even that strong, yet the alphas outside were releasing theirs together, and I started trembling. Suddenly, I caught a whiff of an overwhelmingly powerful scent. It overpowered all the others in an instant. Baylor. I thought it was Declan's voice, but I was already blacking out. The door opened. I only remember being carried into the bathroom. Cold water poured down over me as my mind faded. I clung to the person holding me, inhaling his scent, and bit down. I liked the way he smelled, but slowly, the scent I liked began to fade. 4. When I regained consciousness, Declan was holding me. Before I passed out, was that dominant alpha scent yours? I asked. He flatly denied it. No. I gave a cold laugh. I didn't believe him, but he was clearly hiding something. We were lying together, and my shoulders were covered in his bite marks, but there was no trace of pheromones. Declan, you really love biting people. Are all betas like you? After years of sharing a room with him, I'd lost count of how many times he'd bitten me. I touched the place where his teeth had just left a burning mark. Are you really a beta? I asked again. The pressure radiating off of Declan felt stronger than ever. Because of my gland defect, I'm not that sensitive to alpha pheromones, but still, something about him didn't feel like a beta. He leaned in and kissed me. If I weren't a beta, you'd have been marked by now. I was about to say something when a text notification broke the silence. Baylor, your brother ran off. We're looking for him. If we can't find him, you'll take his place at tomorrow's engagement banquet. I stared at the screen, half laughing inside. I replied with just one word, okay. Declan leaned in to kiss me again, but I pushed him away. I showed him the message. Looks like I'm getting engaged to your brother tomorrow, so please take care of me, future brother-in-law. If you don't mind putting a green hat on your brother, I certainly don't mind helping. I patted his cheek as I handed him my phone. He glanced at the message, then blinked in surprise. A moment later, he burst out laughing. To my brother, you really don't hold back. I raised a brow. Yeah, I'm not into sharing one man with another, so you can back off. He just smiled and said nothing. 5. At the engagement banquet, who did I see? Declan, my roommate. Looks like they switched the partner for the arrangement too. Didn't surprise me. Fenwick's the primary heir. There's no way his family would let him marry a defective Omega like me, but they also didn't want to give up on the alliance. Declan was the perfect substitute. When he saw me, he smirked. You actually came to get engaged? I scoffed. What's it to you? Where's your brother? He replied matter-of-factly. He ran, so I'm stepping in. My father froze, face stiffening. Declan turned to him and said, Uncle, don't be upset. Me getting engaged to Baylor isn't a bad deal. My father frowned. He clearly wasn't thrilled about giving me to a beta, but Declan seemed to know what he was doing. He pulled out a document and handed it to my father. A second later, my father's expression completely changed. He beamed with joy and left in a hurry. Once my father was gone, Declan turned back to me with a smile. So, your brother ran off, and now your dad's sending in his defective Omega son to fool us. I gave a cold chuckle. Didn't your brother run off too? You're just a beta getting sent in for a deal. We're even. He slid the engagement contract across the table toward me. I didn't bother reading it, just signed. He raised a brow, looking pleased. Never thought we'd still end up together after graduation. I smiled. What did you show my father just now? His grin reached his eyes. Just proof that I'm a top-tier alpha. I froze. So you really are a top-tier alpha? I had my suspicions, but hearing him admit it still shocked me. He leaned in, whispering by my ear. Surprised? I raised an eyebrow and smiled without answering. Not surprised, but I did feel lucky. A defective Omega, actually managed to land him. I quietly sent my younger brother a message. Thanks, little bro. Your big brother's engaged now. Truth is, I never planned on pretending to be him and marrying Fenwick. My target had always been Declan. Soon, my brother replied. No need to thank me. Congrats, big bro. I'll stay out of the way and let you settle everything first. 6. After getting engaged to Declan, I moved into his apartment, said I wouldn't see him again after graduation. Now we were living together. Everything was going exactly as I wanted. As soon as I stepped in the door, he wrapped his arms around me and kissed my neck. Congrats, fiancé. Happy graduation. I pushed him away and dropped my suitcase in front of him. You're really an alpha. He pulled off his shirt and released his pheromones. Yeah, want proof? I gave him a shove. Not interested. He leaned in close, voice sultry against my ear. Top-tier alpha, don't you want to know how it feels? I'll show you tonight. I smirked. I had to admit, I was tempted. The result? I nearly passed out. Afterward, we lay together in bed. Why'd you lie and say you were a beta? Your pheromones smell amazing. He ran a hand along my neck. brushing over the fresh bite mark. It wasn't to lie to you. It was to deceive someone else. He's been watching me non-stop. It's annoying. There was disgust in his voice. I frowned. Who? Declan patted my head. Just a lunatic. Then he touched the spot where his scent gland was. Being an alpha, sometimes it's a burden. Why? I didn't understand, but he stayed silent, clearly not wanting to talk about it. I had a feeling he was hiding something. I pinned him down and stared at his neck. You're hiding something from me, aren't you? He met my eyes. I am, but it won't affect how I feel about you. I still had questions. Back in college, why did you always come back injured after disappearing for days? He looked at me, hesitation flickering in his gaze. In a few days, I'll go into rut. Once you've been through my rut with me, you'll understand. His rut? Suddenly, it all made sense. One of the reasons I never realized he was an alpha. He never once lost control in front of me, not even during a rut. 3 days later, Declan's rut hit. He locked himself up in a dark room, tying himself down like a madman. Declan, what's going on? I pounded on the door. His pheromones were all over the place. I felt awful, but I didn't leave. I wanted to help him. Go away. Declan's voice shook. He told me to leave. I wanted to, but his pheromones made my legs go weak. I couldn't move. I slumped against the door and was about to call out again when, bang, the door burst open. He was drenched in sweat, his shoulders still bound with half-broken ropes. His wrists were red from the ties. Why didn't you leave? His eyes were bloodshot as he looked at me. I instinctively stepped back. Something was off about him. He took a step toward me, then gave a chilling smile. Didn't leave? Then help me. 7. Before I could react, he grabbed my wrist and pulled me inside the room. The dark room was filled with his pheromones. The moment I was pulled in, I felt an overwhelming pressure. He took a rope and tied my hands. Declan, what are you doing? Let me go. I immediately struggled, but he bent down and kissed my lips. You're so beautiful, perfect to be an alpha's toy. He stroked my lips with a dark look I'd never seen before. With me tied up, he carried me to the bed. I like tying you up like this. I want to make you my doll, hold you forever in my arms. He seemed insane. I tried to resist, but his pheromones pressed down hard on me. He held my neck firmly. You like it, don't you? You love this. He was asking me questions, but I wasn't fully conscious. All I could feel was pain. Then I woke up fully, in a hospital, with him lying beside me like a guilty child. Your rut really is crazy. That was all I could say. Luckily, we'd lived together for years, otherwise, I wouldn't have survived his torment. This is why I've been avoiding you. When I go through rut, I lock myself in the dark room, surrounded by shadows. I'm sorry for hurting you. Declan hugged me. I thought I could control it. I patted his shoulder. It's okay. Going crazy during rut is normal. I'm fine. I can handle it. My body ached terribly, but I comforted him anyway. What exactly did you go through in the past? I asked cautiously. He stayed silent, unwilling to talk. After a long pause, he said with a grim expression, I've scheduled an appointment with a psychologist. If I don't get better, I plan to replace my alpha glands. I didn't try to stop him. Whether to be beta or alpha was his choice. I respected that. A few days after returning to work with my family, a top-tier Omega came looking for me. You're the Omega engaged to Declan, right? The man blocking me was sitting in a car, wearing a suit. He looked a bit older but handsome. And you are? I was polite enough not to greet him with a cold face. Declan is my chosen fiancé. 50 million. Cancel your engagement. He tossed a card at me like throwing away a beggar. I picked it up, threw it back into the car, and stepped back disdainfully. 50 million. Get help if you're sick. And get lost. He sneered. A defective Omega and still so arrogant. I snorted. Not spitting on you is me being polite. As I walked away, his voice called out again. His rut is crazy, right? Did he ever tell you it's because of me? Only my pheromones can calm him down during that time. 8. That night, while entangled with Declan, those words kept running through my mind. Distracted, he bit my shoulder. Ouch! I winced, coming back to myself as his sweat soaked into my neck. What were you thinking about? Declan asked. I took the chance to ask him. Have you ever liked anyone before? No, he answered easily, then kissed my cheek. I thought so. The other guy didn't seem like Declan's type. Besides me, has anyone ever bothered you? That man this morning looked like he had a past with Declan. Declan paused, his face darkening. He tightened his grip on my hand. Yes, but it wasn't good. It was terrifying. Seeing his discomfort, I released some weak pheromones, trying to soothe him, but he didn't seem to relax. I loosened the front of his shirt and kissed his shoulder gently, feeling his tremble. I pulled him close. No matter who hassled you before, we're engaged now. You belong to me, got it? My possessiveness was strong. Got it. He kissed me back. That night, he was especially intense with me. He seemed to be releasing all of himself, and I didn't resist. In the middle of the night, light from his phone woke me. A message from an unknown number. Congrats on the engagement. If I'd known you were an alpha, I wouldn't have given up. Now I regret it. You're mine, Declan. I stared at the message and replied on my own. Thanks. He's tired from me today. Sleeping now. After replying, I pulled out the SIM card and tossed it in the trash. I was a little angry. What was going on? Help me look up someone. I sent a message to the family's internal investigators. 9. Young master, that person is the tutor, Ford. His family had a long history with ours, but how could he seem so crazy? I stared at the message. Just Declan's tutor. Then why was he always watching Declan, and calling Declan his alpha? Lost in thought, I suddenly saw Declan and Ford sitting together in a cafe across the street. I quietly went inside and found a hidden seat. Long time no see. You're looking better than ever. Ford was teasing Declan, and it made me sick. Declan clearly felt the same. What do you want? The man smiled at Declan. Marry me. How about it? Declan spilled red wine on the man's face. Impossible. Just seeing you disgusts me. Ford's face turned cold. So you're willing to lower yourself to play with a defective Omega? I looked into him. He's just playing with you. No real feelings. Ford belittled me while elevating himself. Only I truly love you. Declan's expression darkened further. Kidnapping me. Making me your pet. Tying me up like a dog. Is that your idea of love? Sitting in the cafe corner, I shivered hearing that. But the man opposite Declan was full of arrogance. Yes. Love you. Want to possess you forever. That Baylor isn't worthy of you. What is he even? Declan stood up. Don't lay a hand on Baylor, or I'll make you regret it no matter what. Ford laughed. So you do have a favorite Omega. Why don't you like me then? Declan sneered. You're not worthy. So don't push me. Ford's smile turned dark as he watched Declan leave. He gracefully wiped the wine off his face. After Declan left, I went over and sat across from Ford. Ford looked at me like he knew why I came. You want to know about our past? I shook my head. No need to dwell on the past. Stop bothering him, or I'll make you disappear in my own way. I stood to leave, but he whispered behind me. Can you accept your alpha being locked in bed by another Omega for over 10 days? He's dirty now. Just a broken shoe. My expression hardened. I really wanted to smash the glass in his face, but I held back. Getting angry was exactly what he wanted. Before leaving, I smiled. Dirty is you, not him. 10. I know about Ford. That night, I cooked dinner for Declan. It was the first time since we met that I really wanted to understand him. Declan obediently sat across from me, head lowered, silent. Sorry, but I don't think I ever touched him. I can't remember much from that time, but I know myself. He tried hard to explain, clearly scared I would hate him because of it. I'm sorry. I felt bad for having forced Declan before. When I pushed you to be with me in college, did it leave scars? Sorry. He suddenly stood, came over, pulled me up, and kissed me. If it weren't for you, I'd be insane by now. I kissed his neck, feeling the waves of his pheromones. When with me, he always masked his pheromones, pretending to be a beta. He looked at me softly. You're special. With you, I don't feel disgusted. I was pleased with his answer. I kissed him back as a reward. Good boy. Brother cares about you. From that day, I subtly made my moves. But their family was powerful. My family couldn't cause much of a stir. I could only disgust him, not make him disappear completely. Frustrated, Declan's brother Fenwick found me once he heard. Declan's really disgusted by that past. He's been waiting for the right moment to act, but lacked proof. Fenwick showed me what he had collected over the years. Where's the key evidence? I didn't care about their dirt, only how to deal with them. Fenwick handed me a hidden camera. Go to Ford's place. Record him breaking Imperial rules. Try to get him to say more wrong things. I nearly rolled my eyes. So, he wants me to visit his home as a guest. Fenwick glanced outside. We've received news Ford plans to move against you. His room is already set up, waiting to trap you. Fenwick said it casually. I smiled quietly. Well, what an honor. He gave me some files. He won't kill you, but he'll use forbidden drugs on you. They're kept in his secret lab. Those are the proof. I understood what Fenwick wanted. I took the tracker and camera. Wait for my signal. 11. Since then, I've been baiting Ford to make a move on me. Declan found out about this at some point. Baylor, Ford is dangerous. You can't handle him. Declan called me, urging me to stop. I'm fine. Before I finished, someone bumped me from behind, and my phone fell. My shoulder hurt sharply, like a needle prick. Dizziness swept over me, and before I blacked out, a car stopped in front of me. When I came to, I was tied to a chair. Ford sat opposite. He wore pajamas and swirled red wine in his hand. Awake? You slept long. Typical defective Omega, can't handle rough treatment. Ford, my head pounded, and I had no strength. A big screen played a video. A dark room showed a boy in a school uniform tied up. That was Declan. Ford sat on the couch, staring at the screen. The child I raised, taken by you. What a nuisance. I sneered. You raised him. You think too highly of yourself. What are you? His face darkened. He walked over and slapped me. And you, a defective Omega, can you satisfy a top-tier alpha's needs? He looked at me with contempt. I mocked. And you, how did you trap Declan? Trying to bait him. He probably hadn't fully developed then. I glanced at Declan on the screen. Ford snorted. I injected him with drugs to make him mature early, tied him to the bed, fed him stimulating Omega pheromones every day. He laughed as if recalling a fond memory. He had a nice scent before maturing, a faint fragrance. Lost in memories, he kept talking, but he ran away. The next day, news spread that his development failed and he became a beta. Ford finished with disgust. A beta. Betas aren't worthy of me. I gave up on him. I got it. Ford wanted Declan but hated him for being beta. So, he gave up at the last moment. A true madman. But now, he's worthy. He made a call. As soon as it connected, Declan's urgent voice came through. Ford, where is Baylor? Ford glanced at me, smirked slightly, then punched me in the stomach. Ugh, pain escaped me. Don't touch him. What do you want? Declan's voice trembled. I could hear his fear. Ford's voice was calm. Come now. Sleep with me in front of him. After, I'll release you both. You're really sick. I grit my teeth, staring at Ford. I couldn't guess his real goal. He squatted, patted my face. Yes, sick. Declan will soon kneel before me, begging for mercy. Just thinking about it is so amusing. He laughed madly like a lunatic. Silent, I slowly rubbed the knife I had hidden earlier against the ropes behind me, but he noticed after a few scrapes. Oh, trying to run? You think you can? He slapped me again, then pulled out a syringe, injecting it into my body. The drug I gave Declan back then. You try it now. 12. I was weak, exhausted, but mentally clear. Tied in a dark little room. I could see outside through a crack. You're here. Ford wore pajamas. Across from him stood Declan, his face dark. Where is he? Declan asked me, and I wanted to get out too, but had no strength. Ford smiled, handed Declan a glass of wine, and forced him to drink. He pressed Declan against the wall where I was locked, trying to kiss him. Declan dodged. Where is he? Ford tapped the wall. The room where you were locked. Now he's in there. Sleep with me, and he'll be safe. Hidden cameras filmed everything, gathering evidence. I tried to struggle, to make a sound, but no one outside could hear. I just watched helplessly as Declan approached Ford, then undid his shirt. At that moment, Declan suddenly pulled out a vial from his waist, and injected it into Ford's neck. Ah! I heard Ford scream. Soon after, Declan opened the door to the small room. You okay? He anxiously untied me. I'm fine. Before I could finish, the door slammed shut again. Ford stood outside, watching us with a sinister smile. This room can't be opened from inside. Declan, when you're too weak to fight, I'll drag you out. Ford's voice was terrifying, his possessiveness over Declan intense. 13. I told you, he's crazy. You can't fight him. Declan trembled, gripping my hand tightly. I have my plan. This time, he'll pay. As long as I have the evidence, I have plenty of ways to deal with him. Right now, public opinion is powerful. Many noble families have fallen from grace under such pressure. The ropes were untied, and we leaned against each other. In the dark room, Declan began to shake. He reacted strongly to this place. I held him close. Don't be afraid. I'm here. I tried to comfort him, but it didn't help much. He looked at the medicines nearby. Ford won't last long either. With these injections, he's suffering just like us. Me, what did you inject him with? Declan's voice was low and shaky. Omega pheromone catalysts, to trigger his heating period. Once in heat, an Omega obeys the alpha completely. He grabbed my hand and collapsed beside me. I won't last long either. It's okay, don't be afraid. Your brother will come. Just hold on a little longer. Fenwick had already arranged to meet me. Declan trembled all over. If I lose control soon, don't worry about me. I'm afraid I'll hurt you. Not long after, his pheromones spiraled out of control. He instantly entered his heat phase, his scent overwhelming me. He kissed my neck, tearing at my clothes. Baylor, I don't think I can hold on. Click. The door opened again. A strong wine pheromone swept in. It was Ford, gone mad and in heat as well. He grabbed Declan, who was leaning on me, and dragged him outside. I tried to hold Declan back, but I was too weak, and Ford shoved me aside. Declan was dragged outside by Ford. The ripping of his clothes was harsh to hear. Ford slammed the almost frenzied Declan down. Just when I was losing hope, the confinement door was pushed open again. Fenwick and his men stormed in. I gasped for breath and collapsed to the floor. Fenwick came to me. Well done, Fenwick. If we cooperate again next time, I'm a dog. That was the last thing I thought before passing out. Is Fenwick a snail? So slow to arrive. If he had come a moment later, Ford would have cooked Declan alive. 14. Ford was taken away for investigation. Declan and I woke up in the hospital. 2 hospital visits in just a few months. I really should pray more. I climbed onto Declan's hospital bed and nestled in his arms. From now on, I'll protect you. I patted him while he was unconscious. The next moment, he hugged me tightly. He was awake, though his pheromones were still unstable. Okay, you protect me, he responded, then kissed me right as I looked up. After discharge, Declan underwent psychotherapy. I stayed by his side the whole time. His resistance to being an alpha lessened considerably. Declan, if you want to be beta, I support you. I patted his shoulder, backing his decision. I want to be alpha. He held me, voice gentle. Seems like only as an alpha can I satisfy you. Me, no need to be so blunt. Though his fully released pheromones were indeed attractive, I'm not an Omega who only cares about physical satisfaction. When I'm better, let's get married. Okay. Suddenly, he proposed with steady eyes. Okay. From the start, the engagement was meant to lead to marriage. 3 months later, brother, I'm getting married. Will you come to the wedding? I sent a message to my brother's private account, hoping for a reply. Soon, a message came back. Okay. At the wedding, my brother wore sunglasses, waved at me, then turned away again. Brother, I trust you to handle the family. I'll play around a bit longer. 15. After marriage, I managed family affairs, rarely asking about my brother. Dear Mr. Baylor, a top-tier Omega gland donor is available. Your previously booked transplant can proceed. Gland transplants require a very high compatibility. When I registered, I didn't expect to find a donor, never thought I'd get one. Okay, thank you. The transplant needed discussion with Declan. Just as I was about to call, I received a message. Your brother worries because you're a defective Omega. He's prepared to donate his gland to you. I looked at the message and the sender's number. A stranger's number. No source. Next came a photo of my brother sitting alone in a hospital. He looked lonely outside the gland examination room. I immediately called him. Hey, bro, why the sudden call? I'm traveling. His voice sounded relaxed. I sighed. Traveling outside the OR, donating glands, you're really free. Silence followed. After a long pause, he said, brother needs the gland. I don't mind, and I'm not as capable as you. A top Omega gland would go to waste with me. I was silent a while. I used to care, but now I don't. Brother doesn't need your gland. Come back. Okay, brother's happy now. He was silent. Then his voice cracked with tears. Okay, bro, I'll listen to you. He said he'd listen, but still didn't show up. Where are you? When will you come back? I messaged him, getting a photo of a beautiful view in reply. I'm really out playing. You make money. I spend it. Perfect. After Declan recovered mentally, he took over the family business. I really don't understand why the ones stuck at the company are the 2 of us. Neither valued. We were both busy, newlyweds, but only saw each other twice a month, mostly just complaining over calls. Where's your brother? I asked Declan about that jerk Fenwick. He sighed. He went to find your brother, said he's bringing an Omega back to hold. 16. Declan, your brother found my brother. We nestled on the sofa, me rubbing his head while watching family messages. I asked my brother, but no reply. Yeah, your brother likes mine. He's chasing him. Declan showed me photos his brother sent. My brother's face was flushed, lying on a bed with messy clothes. His exposed wrist had red marks. My expression darkened. Are you sure he likes him? Declan raised an eyebrow. I asked the same question. His brother's answer was, he played a voice message for me. It was the voices of his brother and my brother. Do you like him? Say it clearly, that was his brother asking. Yes, I really do.